Hey guys, Sean's in the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. Wanted to jump on again. We are going to try this for the second time, probably the total of 4 times. Uh, Myself, the Connection Machine, and Jonathon Joachim. We're going to have him jump on. We were on earlier, and his Wi Fi was a little messed up, so we're going to try to do this again. This is take two of our Facebook Live number 22 with Jonathon Joachim. I see he's jumping on. I'm going to send him a request. Have you. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Randy Johnson. How are you, brother? There he is.
Let's try it again.
Let's try. Let's try this one again. Uh, we're bound to make this happen. And Natalie, I think, might be the lucky charm. She's always into this. And I know it was weird. It was like a minute 30. And we went for like a good 15, 20 minutes.
I was
Great
going to at least.
content. And it was gone. And I'm like, damn, that was some great stuff. But we could do it. I know we could do it again. We have had some practice so far. So at least we're able to make it happen now. So let's try this from the top. John, tell us a little bit about you, what you're involved in, your hobbies, and let's see if we can. Natalie's going to be our lucky charm. I feel it. I feel we're going to do this one.
We'll get
through
rock
on
it
this
one. So, I've known Sean for probably a good 10, 15 years, let's say. Probably. We played softball together back in the day.
Yep.
I got into this industry in around 2000. I was brought in by a good friend of mine who thought I would be very good at what I do, and it turns out he was right. In about 2003 or 4, I started specializing in new construction and renovation lending. I found a niche there because it was a type of product that people didn't really know a lot of, especially on the renovation lending side. They knew about new construction only because they had a need. But this day and age in New Jersey, the average home is 58 years old. And even if it was renovated in the 90s, who wants, white Formica? So,
Yeah.
it's grown into this whole TV series, this HGTV experience where people, especially younger people who have the minimum down payment to buy a house, just don't have the money to renovate it or make it, the way they want it. People walk into these houses and see these avocado green appliances and the pink and white tiles in the bathroom. I give them the dream of doing everything they want now on whatever their monthly budget is. So if they want to put in $50,000 into the house, new kitchens, bathrooms, and flooring, open up the walls, make it, an open floor plan, well then, $50,000 is going to cost you an extra $250 more a month. And let's be honest, you and I spend that more in bars and restaurants over the weekend. And just think how easy it would be to put $50,000 into your house. So,
And you actually like what you developed your own little. You walked in, you did, made the fixtures and the setup the way you wanted it. Do you see a lot of people now go this route because they're going to stay in the house for like 30 years? Like it used to be, people used to go for a year or 2, 3 years, then keep upgrading. That's why we got into a problem.
yeah,
What do you think?
so there's a lot. I'll tell you the bigger trend here. The bigger trend is a lot of people are doing this, A, yes, to stay in their home. B, because their children are moving back from college because they need someplace to live. And now the house isn't, big enough. It's great when they were small children or moving out. But now they're coming home with a wife or a wife and a
Right.
child. The bigger trend is people with elderly parents are adding additions onto the house, making it a mother-daughter style house, or finishing the basement, to a walkout basement to have their parents live there because it's easier to have everybody under one roof than having separate households and having to drive and check on them or having them live in a different state. So that trend is more and more popular. I probably have 4 or 5 loans in process right now that are just people bringing their parents back into the house to live with them.
Bless you.
Bless you. So, the part of this renovation niche lending is not just for people buying a house, not just the younger people buying a house. It's for all generations. candidly. Is it very popular with first-time home buyers? Absolutely. Do the realtors need to be educated more? Absolutely, because they don't understand it either. Some of them do. They hear the words FHA, 203K. That's all they know. They don't realize that just a vernacular for a renovation loan, and that there's many other types out there.
Right.
For example, we do VA lending. So I can give a veteran or an active service, military member a loan right now. Let's say they want to buy in Wayne, they want to buy a house for 400,000. I can give them the 400,000 plus another $25,000 maximum to fix up that house. They put zero down, no money out of pocket, and they have no private mortgage insurance. That's great.
That is huge, and that gives
Yeah.
back to our veterans out there, which is awesome. They
Yep.
put themselves on the line every when they're in the service. That is
Yep.
incredible. So
Yeah.
those that are
So
watching, that's a key thing. Definitely, if you know somebody, might be something to discuss with John for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's just one particular thing. I mean, again, FHA allows people to buy the house, put all the money they want into renovate it. The maximum loan in our area for high balance loans is $726,000. So between buying a house for 500,000 and putting 220, or actually putting
Right.
300 into it, and then putting your down payment to get down to 726, it's not just for houses. I'm going to stress this again. This loan is not just for houses that need work. People think, oh, you have to get this loan when you're buying a foreclosure, or you have to get this loan because the water or utilities are turned off, or you have to do it because it's missing a kitchen stove. Yeah, those are have tos, but you don't have to. The house doesn't need anything. It could be new construction built a year ago, and you want to put an addition onto it. It doesn't have to be a house that's in need of work. It's whatever you want to do to the house.
And there's
Average kitchen.
all contractors that are approved by
Yeah, yeah,
for you that you recommend.
you can use any contractor you want, or we can recommend contractors we already have that are approved. I always suggest people find their own contractor so it doesn't come back to us. Well, hey, you recommended them to us. But there's contractors I've dealt with in every area over the last 20 years that are reputable contractors and always will be reputable. And we're telling every person when you get this type of loan, you are not giving a penny to the contractor up front. Most contractors want 25 or 50% up front. We are guaranteeing them all the money. They know it. They'll accept it. They'd rather you go through us for financing than saying that you have 50,000 in the bank. You give them 25,000 now. The contractor could go to Bahamas.
Yeah.
What do you have? What are you going to hold him back for? Or maybe he just doesn't finish the work. In this situation, he's got to do some work. We'll give him some money. He does some more work. We give him some more money. So he's got to do the job to, get paid for it. So, and his reputation's on the line. Every contractor, we pull a business report, credit report. We look at their license. We look at their insurance, their accord certificate. That we see if they have employees, if they have workman's comp, and everything else. And we thoroughly vet them. We call their previous customers. We call their subcontractors and suppliers to see what kinds of credit they have and lines of credit to see if they need additional funding for the project. So we do a lot of the legwork that a consumer wouldn't necessarily do or doesn't have the means to do. But in this area, there's enough reputable contractors.
Now, just so the ones that are watching and on the replay as well, and if you're watching, I see a bunch of you on there, hit that love button, that wow button, and the share button. With the, they wanted to buy a house for $300,000 and put $100,000 into the house. They don't just get $100,000 check at closing that they get to do it. You're controlling it. There's draws that
Correct.
go out every certain amount of time.
Yeah, so basically what happens, Sean, is they get a licensed contractor, obviously give them an estimate that's broken out by material and labor's line item, saying like demolition, $5,000, labor, $4,000, dumpsters, $1,000, and so on, plumbing, labor, materials, electric, everything else. What we do is when they close, we'll give the contractor up to 50% of the material costs up front so he can get the project started. The remaining money plus a 10% contingency so in your example of 100,000 in work, we would add $10,000 to that in case of cost overruns, because you never know what happens when you open up the walls. So
Right.
that 110,000 is put into an interest-bearing escrow account that the borrower or owner of the home earns interest on while the renovations are taking place. That money is then paid out in draws. So let's say Mr. Homeowner says, okay, the contractor's completed the demo. It's $5,000. An inspector comes out, says, yep, I see that. Line item one, demo, $5,000. Mr. Homeowner, Mr. Contractor, Mr. Inspector all sign this draw request form asking for $5,000 to be released. Gets sent to our draw center, and then the draw center releases a two-party check made out to the contractor and the homeowner. It gets mailed to the homeowner. The homeowner then signs it and hands it to the contractor. Go throughout this process until the project's done. So typically on 100,000, you're going to have 5 draws. So 5 inspections. So figure, just less, about $20,000 a piece. And it would be less if we gave the contractor money up front to get started.
And it's good that you're having all these inspections, things are checked out and everything else. So it's definitely beneficial to the client working with you, because there's going to be a lot of checks and balances throughout the process. I liked how you do a lot of posting with the creativity, with the crazy things that are out there in social media. How has that been helping you as far as your business when you drop a post like that? And I
So
know
it's funny.
Whartonby was. You want to talk about that
Yeah.
again?
Yeah. So actually, thank you, John Whartonby. That was, it was kind of funny how that happened. I threw a picture up there, and then John kind of mocked it up and sent it back. And I said, you know what, this could be something that would just catch on. So every single day I post a new picture of real renovations that went wrong, that have gone. Somebody who put they have a thing, let's call it a regular kitchen sink, but the faucet goes over the kitchen. It doesn't drop into the kitchen sink, or it doesn't even reach the kitchen sink, or there's an electrical outlet under a spigot outside the house. Like, just stuff that contractors fail, or homeowners did the work themselves and just totally failed on. So it's kind of my renovation fail post, and I posted it to Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. And you'd be amazed at some of the comments I get on there. Like, is this real? I'm like, people, it's all real. These are
Yeah.
real things I find just doing a Google search of renovation, disasters. There's a lot of nightmares you can get into by hiring the wrong people, the wrong mortgage consultant, the wrong insurance professional. If you're misdirected and you're not getting builder's risk policy when you should, that's a big fail. If it doesn't cover you and your contractor burns your house down, yeah,
Yep.
he has liability insurance, but anything else you had in that house is your
Gone.
responsibility. Yeah. So,
Right.
that's a sore subject, because I've seen people in the midst of renovations and something serious happen. So, you have to hire the right people, do some research. You can find out what contractors are reputable and which ones aren't. Go to the, Better Business Bureau, see what their ratings are, see if they're on Yelp. Google is amazing. 10, 15 years ago, we couldn't do what we do today. You
No.
know, when I started this business almost 20 years ago, we were knocking on doors and had to go and sit with people at their kitchen table to take an application,
Right.
or meeting in an office. And then you're Xeroxing stuff, and you're making triple copies of it, and you're mailing a package somewhere, and then you have to go have them sign disclosures. Today is everything's done with a push of a button. Fortunately or unfortunately, um, you know, people go to like bankrate.com and they check rates and stuff, and
Right.
half that stuff is, to be candid, it's bullshit. It's
Yep.
not accurate. I had somebody ask me today. They said, "Oh, well, we're getting 3.875 from such and such." I'm like, "That's good, but your credit score is 630.
Right.
You don't qualify. You're putting 5% down. You still don't qualify for that type of rate. It just doesn't exist." And then when you look at it, there's what's called assumptions on every lender's website, and the assumptions are 740 credit with 20% down on a single family house, owner occupied. Everybody doesn't fall into the same rate bucket, unfortunately. There's a different rate for every person. That being said, if you do have 740 and 20% down and you were going for that, our rate today is probably in the low threes. It would have been beat the 3.875 anyway.
Right. Right.
And there are no hidden costs. Like most of these lenders have, you're paying a point to get a specific type of rate. So, but what I do with the renovation lending, it's not rate sensitive. Your options are using cash, getting this type of loan, or using credit cards. And why would you put $50,000 of cabinetry and appliances and tile on a 30% Home Depot card when it's not tax deductible, when I could redo your mortgage at, call it 4 or 4.5, depending on your credit, and it's in the form of interest, and the interest is tax deductible.
Right.
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 And, we're basing everything on the after improved value. So if you're buying that $300,000 house and putting $100,000 into it and it appraises for 400, we're basing it on the 400. We're not basing it on today's value of 300. Or if you own the house and it's valued at 300 today, we're not using that as the benchmark for your loan to value.
Right.
So
No, that's value right there. I like what you were saying as far as you're consistent, as far as every day dropping a post. It's something that I do as well. I'm always posting. I always have consistency. I have videos. I want to share those that are watching. You might want to check out. It's called AnswerThePublic.com. It's a website. You can put in any kind of question. You want to talk about mortgages? Type in mortgages. It comes up with a tree of everything you can discuss about a mortgage, insurance, real estate. That's a common thing for those that are doing any posting or videos and need topics or content. Check it out. Oh, Grandma's on. Another place to check out is conversationstarter.com. If you go to that website, it will give you a question. It's a random question generator. You can take the copy and paste it, put a little background, put it out there, and makes engagement. It might be like, oh, what was your mascot in high school? And it might be, and then all of a sudden you'll have hundreds of people commenting. That's good for engagement. That's good for your brand. So I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad you're focusing on, being consistent. And how's your golf game? How's that with building business? How's it built your business over the
You'd
years?
think it'd be more with the amount of times I play a year. So I try to play somewhere between 50, or I usually play somewhere between 50 and 60 times a year. I see people I used to work with on the golf course, and then it just triggers them to go, oh yeah, now I remember. Like, I have this guy for you. Oh, okay, great. Because out of sight, out of mind. They forget what
Yep.
you do. They forget what you specialize in. And in this business, it's very easy, to take an easier route, or the low hanging fruit. Let's put it that way, rather than going out of your way to find the right person to do the right job.
Right.
And that's what, if you look at my post that I put up there, it says, let me find you the right professionals to do the job the right way, and then the hashtags. And that's true. Sean being one of them, John Wharton being one of
Yep.
them, Michelle Mendola Rafferty with the dumpsters. It could be any one in this huge circle of life that we have. But you know what? We all do the right thing. And
Right.
doing the right thing by others always helps you get more business for yourself as well. So the other one I want to touch on was, the variety of loans we have, like I was speaking about with the VA. This is also for investors. And the
Mm-hmm.
majority of investors out there are using their cash. And I gave you that example, earlier was, I had an investor and I said to him, so, how much money do you have liquid? And he says, I have $1,000,000. And I said, so you're going to go out and buy 4 houses for 200,000, putting 50,000 into each. And now you're out your $1,000,000 and you have to wait till these 4 houses sell. He goes, yeah. And I go, and some great deal comes along. He goes, well, I can't buy it. I said, so how about if you take that same $1,000,000 and I give you 16 houses and all the money to renovate them, all the money to buy them and all the money to renovate them, all with your $1,000,000. It's the same thing. So why, if you're an investor, why A, would you risk your own money, right?
Right.
And then B, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? It's still tax deductible. It's still in the form of interest. And to us, it's still tax deductible until that goes away at some point in time.
Exactly. For sure.
But investors don't know it. I have investors on, I wish I knew you. I had to go get a hard money loan for 300,000 to buy the house and fix it. And it's at 10 to 12% and 2 to 3 points. I'm like, are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
You just paid a VIG of $9,000, plus you're paying interest on your 6-month build out of 10 to 12%. That's ridiculous. I'm going to give you 4.5, maybe an investor 5%, and I'll give you all the money to buy the house and renovate it. You just put the down payment
Right.
down. So
No, that's major value right there. And I hope those that are watching, definitely reach out to John, and we'll make sure his information is in the contact. We had it on previous ones that we kept messing up, but it's not a problem. Here's a question for you. If you were to go back like 10, 15, 20 years ago, what would you tell yourself 20 years ago that would get you to where you are today?
20 years ago, when I started, I would have told myself to go back another 20 years and start then. The sooner this, it's kind of like the shore house premise, right? They're not building any more ocean, right? So
Right.
the sooner you can get something, in 20 years from now, you'll be amazed at how valuable that piece of property is. So I tell people, I don't care if you're 21, 22, if you have the means to buy a house, buy one now. It's always going to seem like a struggle. It's always going to
Right.
seem like it's out of your league or out of your reach. The sooner you can buy something, the sooner you can renovate it and make it yours, the better off you're going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now. That is a mortgage is a forced savings.
Right.
You're forcing yourself to invest in yourself, to have money for retirement, because
Mm-hmm.
you buy that house. Just say today, if you could find a house in Wayne, and there are, for $300,000, maybe you're not going to be in Pines Lake, or you may be
Right.
Tom's Lake, and then you put 100,000 into it. Well, the mortgage is 2,000. If you take a $400,000 mortgage, your mortgage is a little less than $2,000 a month, plus taxes and insurance. That $2,000 a month now, that house 20 years from now might be 900, $1 million.
Right.
You go to sell it and you'll retire.
Yep.
Not that you can retire on $1 million, but
Right.
but you get the premise of it. It's the sooner you can get into housing, the sooner you can buy them, the better off you be. As far as flips, everybody's trying to do flips today. Yeah, they're great. It's got to make sense, though. I know flippers who flip 10, 12 houses a year for $30,000, $40,000 a house. And I know some, people that they don't want to flip a house unless they can make 100 plus. So
Right.
it just all depends on, your first deal and how much you want to bite off.
Right.
You know,
No, it's
you go down, you can
it's a
go down
risk.
that road either way. Yeah, it is.
Right. It's a
It
risk,
is.
no matter what. And like you said, you're gonna have a struggle. I mean, my wife and I, yeah, we have a house, we have cars paid off. That's a great thing, having paid off cars. But she being sick, man, that changes everything too. Like, oh,
Especially if
how
you
are you
don't
gonna
have the
do
right
things?
insurance.
Right. And then we can't put her in daycare right away because her immune system is really low. That's
Right.
why we kind
Yeah.
of keep her around only people that we know are healthy just for a period of time. But yeah, daycare is going to be, we have to figure out how we're going to do the next couple months, what we're going to do with her,
Right.
because
Grandma.
it's just a thing that happens. Grandmas are going to help out for sure. I know. And, but no, it's definitely beneficial. How do you feel as far as in your office? Are people following what you're doing and putting a post? Are they using social media? Is your office more of a old school way, or is it more transitioning to
Mm,
using social media?
I have a great office. I mean, I have great producers in this office. I have some guys doing $100 million a year, and that's like you writing $100 million in insurance a year.
Right.
It's just big money.
Yep.
They're very young and they're very tech savvy, so they do a lot with text, automated texts.
Yep.
They do a lot with emails, but people look at an email or they don't even open it and they won't view it, or they open it, they kind of glance through it. So what they do is they embed videos. Here's what your next steps are. Attorney, watch this video. Realtor, watch this video. And buyer, watch this video. And all the videos are in the same email. And then it says, for your insurance, watch this video. So we have all that in content in the emails that we send out, which is very, I want to say, it's tech savvy. It works great. People love it. They'd rather watch a silly 1 minute video than read
Right.
a 20-second email.
Yes.
But as far as the content that I put out there, again, I started from Instagram, jump into Facebook, and then go to LinkedIn and a couple other sites. Instagram, I just started doing this probably a month and a half ago. I would say I got 200, or I probably have about 200 likes a day just from Instagram on those posts from people all over the world. I mean, it's
Yep.
Germany, it's Japan, it's how it gets in front of them, I don't know. Another good thing is Google Ads. If you ever know what a Google ad is, it's very simple. It's easy to set up. It's not really expensive. I did it for a little bit, and I was getting calls from anybody who wanted to find Caliber, but it happened to be Caliber and not just Caliber Home Loans. So if somebody was looking for
Right.
Caliber in California, Caliber Automotive, they'd call me. So the pricing did get a little out of whack because I was getting tons of calls every day on it. So I kind of put it, slowed it down and put it to bed for a while. But the funny thing about it is that it's still there, and I'm still getting a lot of calls. Now I'm just not paying for it. So whether
Right.
Google didn't shut it down, they left it open, or left it there, or it's still at the top of their feed. So maybe for those out there that have their own businesses, take out a Google ad, let it run for a week, shut it down, and your content is still out there and up there and available.
I mean, that's the benefit. That's why I love Facebook, because you have all the you have the memories. People don't even
Right.
use that.
Yeah.
I did all the videos last year, so every year, every day, I click that to bring that video back up, and then I drop another video, and then I do a Facebook Live. I've actually learned something today. You can take like this Facebook Live, I can get it downloaded and put it to my YouTube channel. I wasn't able to do that before, and I want to share with people. This is value for everybody. If they go to, it's called fbdown.net, and you go to wherever you want to do your Facebook Live in the past. Go to the date. You right click on it, and you want to copy the address, and you copy that right into FB for Facebook down.net, and you hit download. You could save it to your computer, and then you can upload it to YouTube or any other channels you want to put it to. So, I mean, that's huge as well, because now this is not just Facebook. I could put this anywhere on the YouTube channel. I can push it out to anything, to an email to somebody. Hi,
Right.
do you know John? And boom, I can just forward it out. So that's just for those that are still watching, which you should always follow and finish videos. A lot of people just go on for 25, 30 seconds. We went a little longer because we've been trying to get this together for a while, and I'm glad we
Yeah.
finally put it together. And definitely would love to do some more. If you and Kelly, do you help out Kelly with a lot of her open houses and things
Yeah.
like that?
You know what? I don't like her being alone at an open house. It's not
Right.
in this day and age, for somebody to sit there for 3 hours, and you don't know what kind of people are walking in.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm there. You know what? People have questions. I'm knowledgeable on construction. If they're looking to renovate the house, obviously I have a million ideas for them because it's what I do.
Right.
And I do get business out of it. But I help her. Because it's for me, it's easy. So I'm her chauffeur. I drive her around, and I do the open houses with her. And the flip side is that she lets me go play golf whenever I want.
Yeah. Hey, to end, how did they get in contact with you, John?
A couple ways. So you can reach me on my cell phone, 973-981-3403. Again, 973-981-3403. Or you can reach me my personal email is jj203k@gmail.com. My office one is my first name, period, my last name, at Caliber Home Loans. I'll spell it out. JONATHAN, period, JOACHIM, at caliberhomeloans.com. Easiest way to
It's
get a hold of
awesome.
me. Yep. Or through Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger. I have a lot of people contact me that way. I do have a Facebook page, just a business page, and it's my name under renovation loans, or JJ203K. But when I post these things, Sean, like I'll have people message me through Instagram or through Facebook,
Yes.
Messenger, and say, hey, I was thinking about doing this, and we start a conversation. And I just say, here's my cell phone, give me a call, and it's easier to talk that way.
I'm glad you said that, because some people don't understand why we do what we do. The posting is to get engagement. A lot of the things are off, like behind the scenes, like the messenger is huge. People don't even use it. Have a conversation before you actually have a phone call. That's how I use it. Post a video every day, and I use that to get to a messenger, to get to a text message, to a phone call, to a face-to-face appointment. You can't just go right to face-to-face anymore. You have to you work
Yeah.
toward it.
Funneling.
You funnel. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly what it is.
it's just how you got to go through the process. So, no, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Definitely. I think the next event if you guys can get to is the 26th of June, a
Okay.
couple weeks, and I'll start getting a flyer out and promoting that. And if you need anything, let me know, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks again, Sean. We'll
All
talk
right,
to you
John.
later.
Thanks, man. We
All right.
did it.
Be good. Finally.
All right, man.
Finally.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. And there we have it. We made it through it. We got it done. We had a number of opportunities. We tried to do a Facebook Live, and we have had issues in the past, but we were able to make it happen today. You got to make sure every single day you are consistently persistent to be successful today. I have, again, Facebook Live set up every day this week. Make sure you check in around 12, 12:30, and 1 p.m. Natalie said she'll be here possibly either on screen, like which she got on this one, or off screen. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Take care.